Sit back and let us show you how and why Simon and I are involved in international disaster relief. The first part of this video is about the training that we completed with Samaritan's Purse just over 12 months ago, and part 2 is the training in action, our deployment to Townsville to assist with the flood relief. So last week we were in Townsville, which is the reason why we missed last week's YouTube upload video as well.
We're on our way to Sydney to be involved in some international aid training down there. It's run by an organisation called Samaritan's Purse. You might know them mainly through the Christmas shoebox appeal. That's what they're most famous for, but they have this other side of them as well. So I'm going down with my husband Simon and my good friend Hannah. After 3 days of training, that means that we've completed all of the necessary requirements to be part of to be on the deployment list, which means that when there's a natural or a man-made disaster anywhere in the world, we'll be deployed with a team to go and offer aid however that's needed. And so we applied for this role about mid last year. And it's it took about 6 months to go through all the interviewing processes with Samaritan's Purse Australia and Samaritan's Purse USA. Because we were successful with that, now we're going down to complete the training.
We're halfway through day 1 and I've learned so much about how to operate in a disaster situation, but also I've learned so much about Samaritan's Purse. They have their own aircraft. They have all a manner of resources. They have the headquarters in the States, and then they have branches of Samaritan's Purse all over the world where they're training up people to be deployed for these emergency situations. In one of my other videos I talked about how much I really believe in finding something that you're truly passionate about, as cliche as it sounds, but finding that one thing, that fire inside you, and making a life around that, making a career around that. For me, that's being a builder and having a construction company. But then I've just been thinking lately about, to take that to the next step further, is I kind of have this little quote or saying that I kind of try to stick by about not striving for success, but rather striving for significance, and trying to use yourself and your business or whatever it is to be part of something bigger than yourself. Samaritan's Purse has been involved in the 1994 Rwanda genocide, the 2011 Japan tsunami and earthquake, 2014 the Ebola virus in Liberia, and I think they were one of only 2 organisations that were brave enough to actually be there in Liberia when Ebola had its outbreak. The biblical basis for Samaritan's Purse, of course, Samaritan's Purse is based on the story of the Good Samaritan. I just want to read it quickly, it might take 60 seconds or so, but it's incredible. I love these chapters, these verses in the Bible, and it's just fantastic. So if you can just bear with me while I read it. This is from the book of Luke, chapter 11. One day, an expert in religious law stood up to test Jesus by asking him this question: "Teacher, what should I do to inherit eternal life?" Jesus replied, "What does the law of Moses say? How do you read it?" The man answered, "You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, and with all your mind, and love your neighbour as yourself." "Right," Jesus told him, "do this and you will live." The man wanted to justify his actions, so he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbour?" Jesus replied with a story. A Jewish man was travelling up from a trip from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he was attacked by bandits. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him up, and left him half dead beside the road. By chance, a priest came along, but when he saw the man lying there, he crossed the other side of the road and passed him by. A temple assistant walked over, looked at him lying there, but he also passed over to the other side. Then a despised Samaritan came along, and when he saw the man, he felt compassion for him. Going over to him, the Samaritan soothed his wounds with olive oil and wine and bandaged them. Then he put the man on his own donkey and took him to an inn where he took care of him. The next day he handed the innkeeper 2 silver coins, telling him, "Take care of this man. If the bill runs higher than this, I'll pay you the next time I'm here." Now, which of these would you say was a neighbour to the man who was attacked by bandits? Jesus asked. The man answered, "The one who showed mercy." Then Jesus said, "Yes, now go and do the same." And what an incredible calling that is, and what a huge challenge it is, that in that situation, the relief that the Samaritan offered was one of medical aid, one of finance because he paid the innkeeper, one of emotional care. And I just find that is an incredible challenge and a huge calling. And I love that, and I love that is Samaritan's Purse background, and that's why they have established Samaritan's Purse. But just that challenge you know, to spend time with the one and to actually take time out of our day, because I believe most of us probably would have also passed this crippled man by as well. You know, we do that daily. We just pass people by who are suffering. But to actually have a changed attitude and a changed heart, to take the time to stop, it's really confronted me and it's really challenged me. But just this Samaritan's Purse, being a part of a team like this, I guess for me, I have Front Porch Properties, my construction company in Brisbane, and we build beautiful homes for people in Brisbane, but I feel like, you know, there's so many people that don't even have homes, and so I want to make that my bigger mission, you know, to make an impact on people and to leave a legacy, because you know, that's what having a life of significance is about, rather than just striving for success and striving for, you know, having a big successful company or having a big house, having a car, having the status, having the prestige. Really, at the end of the day, what does that amount to? It actually amounts to nothing. You can't take that with you to your grave. So that's my aim in life, is to have some kind of significance and to be part of something bigger than myself. And I'm so thankful that I feel like Samaritan's Purse is part of that for me.
Hey guys, we're just at the airport here with Simo, and we're just about to hop on a plane to go to Townsville. We're going up to Townsville to volunteer to help with the flood cleanup. That's the flood that happened, I don't know, 4 or 6 weeks ago, and the cleanup is still happening. We're going up there with an organisation called Samaritan's Purse. Generally, Samaritan's Purse does international relief, but in this instance, they've responded to the local floods. So we're going up for that. I'm just going for the weekends because as a business owner, it's a little bit harder to get some time off, but Simon is going for a week. So people have just asked why we kind of get involved in these sorts of things. And I guess from my perspective, we kind of jointly just made the decision a few years ago that we want to kind of spend our time doing things like this. We don't think we're anything special, that's for sure, but I guess we don't have kids, so that sort of enables us or makes it a lot easier for us to do these kinds of things. But we just consciously made a decision that we don't kind of want to sleepwalk through life, you know, wake up, go to work, go home, go to bed, wake up, go to work, and just be going through the motions. So this was something that, we've made a commitment to many years ago. Well, that's my reason for it. Simon, what's your reason for it?
Yes, somewhat the same. I've got a heart for helping people, and you might know about some of the other trips I've been on. And this sort of aligns with that. Actually, I was asked by someone, I went on a trip to Iraq last year and to help in a refugee camp, and someone asked me, why would you go? And I think that pretty much answers the question, because most people would think, why would you go? And if I didn't go, then who would go? If there's someone in need, then my heart sort of goes out for them. And these flood victims are the same. So
So Simon's done heaps of these actually. He went last year to Iraq with an organisation called Operation Hope, and then to Vanuatu with Samaritan's Purse again, rebuilding kindergartens after Cyclone Pam, and also to Malawi in Africa to rebuild a school with another organisation called Global Interaction. And I've missed out on all of those three. Simon's a bit more flexible with his time, just because he's
I've got a regular job. Use my leave.
So he's an engineer for Boeing Defence, so he's able to kind of prepare in advance. But for me, it's a little bit tricky for me to find the time to take time off as a business owner. The last one I went on was, Simon and I went to a country called Tunisia, which is in North Africa. That one was with an organisation called Open Doors, and that's the last one that I've been involved in. So I guess that's why we're going to Townsville tonight. It's just really an extension of all of that. So anything else to add?
There's an epic storm happening at the moment, and I don't know what time we're going to be leaving, but the power keeps on dropping in and out in the airports. That's reassuring.
Yeah, so we're a little bit delayed, but we'll be getting on the plane soon. ended up arriving in Townsville at 1:30, and when we were in the morning. So someone from Samaritan's Purse was nice enough to come and pick us up in the middle of the night. But our luggage didn't arrive, unfortunately, so we're, everything that I'm wearing, we've borrowed off people. So, except our underpants, they're our own underpants. They've been wearing them for a couple of days now, so that's good. Anyway, we're just en route to the job site.
The main part of the job was to cut out all of the gyprock off the lower third of the walls. That's because that's where the floodwater actually came to. And then another part of it was to actually chisel off all of the glue off the blockwork and off the framework so that the new plasterboard goes straight on easily. It was also really essential that we did an extremely thorough cleanup, making sure there was no debris down underneath the base plates. That's so the new builders, when they come in, can easily drop in the new gyprock. Another part of the job was to move the kitchen from where the kitchen was into the garage, just so they could look at rebuilding that down the track. After we have finished all the work, one thing that Samaritan's Purse really puts emphasis on is going back through the house. The team leader will walk through the volunteers and show the quality of the work, and will also walk the homeowners through the house and point out all of the work that we've done and make sure that they are completely satisfied and happy with everything that's happened.
We've just done a full day's work here at this house, so these poor people were actually out of town when the floods hit, and they missed a insurance payment, and then their insurance lapsed, so they came home to a flooded house and had no insurance cover. So we've been able to completely gut their house over a few days and have helped them tremendously, so that's really cool. And actually our team leader just ran into the homeowner in Bunnings. She was there buying some old cleaner, and that's actually how they met. And our team leader offered for our whole team to come in and help. So just an amazing set of circumstances, but really cool to be part of this awesome team.
If you're interested to know more about Samaritan's Purse, or even if you wanted to donate, I will link the website below. Thanks heaps for watching.